to a new and exciting edition of the Metal Voice with Jim.
Yes.
Hey, we've been waiting for this for a long time. We didn't even know it would ever be released.
Yes.
It almost like the Chinese democracy almost. Not that bad, but what is it, Jim? What is it?
Looking back at you, Alan. Rush. So we got a new setup here. I just thought we'd test it out, put a little TV, little slideshow thing happening, just to keep it fresh. Keep it fresh, Alan. Keep it fresh.
And exciting. What do we got here, Jim?
So Canada's own Rush, Clockwork Angels. Finally, it's out.
And why is that, Jim?
Why is that? Because that's the way it is.
You know what? It's scary when a band like Rush has been selling albums for 30 years, over 30 years. Huge fan base.
Yes.
And even they saying in the internet age, I don't know if I'm going to release another album.
Well, they're getting up there, Alan.
No,
like you and I, we're getting up there. We're getting up there.
They were going to do the music. It's just the fact they didn't know if it was worth effort of putting it out there in the traditional manner.
Absolutely.
And that's scary.
Yeah.
If Rush is having these problems, how's a band like The Treatment or Airborne or, you know what I mean?
You know, it comes back to illegal downloading and you know, nobody knows if they want to put albums out, they're going to put singles out, when are they going to put albums, or they're just going to tour. It's just a complete mess. But slowly the music industry is finding itself.
You believe that?
Let's go to Rush.
Okay,
all right, initial impressions.
What's going on here?
Fresh from Canada, Canada's own Rush. What did you think about it when you first played the album?
Well, Jim, now that you asked me, it was not... I've been hearing Caravan and BU2B for the last, 2 years now? Snippets here and there. They didn't really, you know, hit me in the gut or wow,
I was a little bit different, Alan. I was like, wow, it did hit me in the gut. I was like, I was, when I heard B2B and Caravan, I was excited. I go, wow, it's somewhere. It's like, I like Snakes and Arrows. Did you like Snakes and Arrows?
Yes, I saw the tour.
And I think this is like the next progression. It's nothing like any other Rush album.
It's a very mature album.
Yes, mature.
Mature.
Yes.
Mature.
And then we got Headlong Flight, which was the next single that was released.
Okay.
Did you like that changeover in the graphics?
Yes, that's cool. We're going high tech.
So Headlong Flight was then released. And I go, oh my God, the wah-wah pedal came out. And once the wah-wah pedal comes out, I'm like, okay, now we're getting back to some serious Rush here. And I go, wow, this album's going to be kick-ass. And I pretty much enjoyed this album. Do I think it's their best album out of their whole catalog? It's hard to tell because Rush, you need to invest. We've talked about this before.
Yes, you have to savor it like a fine wine.
And I got to keep listening to this album to see, and only after at least 7 years.
Okay.
I need at least 7 years to know where this album stands in the Rush catalog.
So we'll do our show today, and in 7 years now check back in, and we'll see how we feel about it.
I would say though, if I was to use some words, I'd say organic. It sounds like Snake, very organic sounding.
It's a big
more
word.
Epic. There's more orchestras. There's a lot more acoustic guitars.
Yes.
There's a nice ballad at the end called "The Garden," I believe. Wish Them Well is another sort of like up mid-tempo to fast track. And my favorite song on the album, I gotta tell you, is Clockwork Angels.
Okay.
I would say epic. And once you listen to this song, you go, wow, it's kind of like new Rush meets old Rush, somewhere there.
Really?
Yes. Really. And they've got some cool Radiohead, Pink Floyd sort of sound bits that are running throughout the whole album and make it, you know, what it is. And it was a book, right?
You know, for me, Jim, I have to admit, you know, it's like they can do whatever they want now because they've done everything. They've gone through all those different phases. I think I agree with you. This is a new phase where it's like, let's play music and see where it leads us kind of thing.
Yes.
So you don't have that one or two standout tracks that are kind of a little bit more riffy, a little bit more hooky like you've had on all the other albums, you know. For every Tom Sawyer, you had Entre Nous. You know, for every Show Me Don't Tell Me, you had you know, Test for Echo counterpart, something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was just, they didn't have those hooky songs.
Okay, you're looking like Spirit of Radio, you're looking at Tom Sawyer, Free Will.
You know.
You don't see that. But I kind of see they've evolved past that. I mean, here you are. You know, everybody wants them to be the 2112 Rush or the Hemispheres Rush, right? The Farewell to Kings.
They might be around 2112. I don't know.
That's what everybody looks for. And I think if they were to keep doing that, repeating that, every album, they would be bored and the fans would be bored. As much as we want them to go there.
No, I agree.
Been there, done that.
I think you said the best. This is a new phase, and their new phase is of course, the musicianship is again on this album fantastic. The production, everything you expect from Rush. It's just it doesn't have the catchiness of some of the others. You know, and even counterparts, Test for Echoes. Yeah, they're.
So what would you get out of 10? I mean, I know you might change your mind.
Again, we have to kind of soak through it and let it.
And I want those decimal points there.
But yeah, 7.5, I would say on first impression.
On first impression, okay, that's fair. I would put it more like 8.5, 8.7, but it could get a lot higher as the more times I listen to it.
Right.
That's it. So go out and buy
it.
Clockwork Angels. Buy Rush, because you have to, because we're Canadian and it's a Canadian band, and they hold, globally they represent Canada.